There's a lot to know and appreciate about our native birds. What are the most common species in Adelaide? Where are you likely to see them? And how can we keep our city birds friendly are just some of the questions that come to mind. And I know just the people who can give us all those answers and a whole lot more. Jason Van Wienen, Green Adelaide's team leader, urban biodiversity, is passionate about creating a more bird-friendly and avian sustainable Adelaide. Jason, there seems to be so many different types of birds in and around Adelaide.
Yeah, we're very lucky here in Adelaide. We've got a whole range of habitat types, from high rainfall vegetation in the hills to drier country in the north of the region to coastal and river and wetland environments. Because of the diverse range of habitat types, it means that we've also got a diverse range of birds here in Adelaide.
Well, no, standing here in the Botanic Gardens, in the wetlands here, I mean, it's bird central.
That's right. These wetlands attract a wide variety of bird species. We've got a coot right here, and then we've got a purple swamp hen over in the back, an ibis.
What are some of the common birds people are likely to see in their backyard or maybe out in the park going for a walk?
Rainbow lorikeets are a really common species in Adelaide now. They're very noisy, so not only do you see them, but you hear them as well. New Holland honeyeaters visit lots of gardens. Magpies are very common in the Adelaide area. Wood ducks, noisy miners, are present in lots of areas of Adelaide. So yeah, we're very lucky to have a whole range of threatened birds also living in the Adelaide area. The Australasian bittern, which has been observed in some of our urban wetlands. So we're trying to learn how they're utilising the area and making sure that we cater for them now and into the future. We also have species such as the chestnut rump teeth wren. We've got some amazing honeyeaters. They're called black-chin honeyeaters.
And what about tawny frogmouths? I'm always intrigued by those birds.
They've got fantastic plumage that lets them blend in. They're present through a lot of the region, but they're often hard to spot, making out they're a tree branch and you wouldn't even know they're there.
And what is Green Adelaide's vision for bird life and encouraging more birds into the city?
So Green Adelaide's vision is a cooler, greener, wilder Adelaide, and so that means looking at what we've got and trying to protect and enhance the diversity of species that are utilising the Green Adelaide area for future generations.
Green Adelaide is helping the city's bird life by enabling the creation of more greenery in our city. Dr. Elisa Sparrow, Green Adelaide's urban ecologist, is always happy to talk about that work. So how can the home gardener help with birds and keeping birds in their garden?
Well, there's lots of different things you could do. So if we create a bit of structure in our garden, a range of sort of shrubby species to sort of some smaller understory species, and this provides protection for some of these smaller birds that the noisy miners would normally scare off. But if they've got a place they can go hide, they're more likely to come into your yard. So the best thing to do is plant that natural food source. Things like hakeas, banksias, acacia species. There's a whole suite of species that you can plant.
And other things people could do to help birds?
Responsible pet ownership. Keeping cats inside or having a cat run is a really important way to protect our local native birds. Some of the other things we can do is limiting our use of things like insecticides and pesticides and other poisons around our garden and house. And then if we've got some pet birds, particularly some of the more exotic species of birds, just really making sure that they have a very secure cage, because sometimes when these birds escape, like Alexandrine parakeets, they become quite competitive for hollows for some of our native parrots.
And I believe there are bird volunteer groups that people can join.
Yeah, there are a few around. So for example, there's the one that helps the hooded plovers on the beach. There are also some general Friends of Parks groups which help with habitat maintenance. There's also some other citizen sciencey things, for example, helping out with orange-bellied parrot surveys a few times a year. The Adelaide City Council have a really good resource called Bird Sensitive City, which is an online guide.
Now I know there are some birds that seem to be right in the middle of the city.
Yes.
And what are they, the tree martins?
Yeah, so the tree martins, they're a pretty fascinating little bird. So there's about 20,000 of them, and over the warmer months you'll see them all at dusk just flying into Lee Street. At the same time, they're trying to avoid the peregrine falcons. In Green Adelaide, we're spending a lot of effort trying to understand birds in the urban environment through surveys and working closely with a lot of our stakeholders. And through this, we're hoping that we can create some really great strategic projects to help ensure the long-term conservation of our urban birds.
The more Green Adelaide and ourselves can do to encourage birds to nest, feed and fly in and around Adelaide and beyond, the better for us all.